All right, y'all. So listen, these are my thoughts on illegal immigration, okay? So very simply put, I think we should put our money and time towards taking care of the American citizens that are in this country. All right? That and I want to be very particular on what I'm saying here, and that's illegal immigration. I am not talking about asylum seekers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literal, just and only just illegal immigration. I think what allowing that to continue uh, involves, whether it's the trafficking of other human beings or drugs or anything else, I don't think that's necessarily a net positive for everybody. I believe it's a net negative, and I think it would behoove us and help us to stop it. Now, I get it when you think about farm hands and when you think about construction and when you think about many of the other jobs that Americans simply just don't want to do these days. All right? We're prissy. We're uppity. Okay? We have these standards of what we think a job should be. All right? Very few of us are willing to do the jobs that are like backbone jobs of the economy and of our society because we believe it to be beneath us, you know. With that being said, I think that they do serve a great purpose in society. Do I think they should be treated better? Absolutely. And that's why I would propose for, if they're already here, cool beans. But if you're not, we're done. We're donezo. We're donezo. We're donezo. We're donezo. You know what I'm saying? Let the people that are already here fill out paperwork, become citizens. Now, is that ideal for business owners? Absolutely not, because you can't get away with paying them the rate that you were paying them. All right? It's not. It's not. But what it is going to do is it's going to give them a pathway to become a better person and actually contribute instead of taking away from society. And you might have wondered where this thoughts came from. I was watching a video, in particular, it was about Springfield, Illinois, and they were talking about people eating cats. Nobody's eating cats. Nobody's eating cats. Nobody's eating the geese there. It's not happening. However, they recently, over the last 5 years, had an increase in the Haitian population. That's not a problem. What I did find problematic in that video was they were talking about they could get $300 and $500 worth of food stamps, and there was a homeless lady, an American citizen, that couldn't get food stamps. Now, maybe there's some extenuating circumstance as to why she can't get food stamps. But to know that somebody can get food stamps and they're not necessarily a citizen of this country, yet an actual citizen that has paid into the system, or their families paid into the system, or some they're direct benefactor of the American economy, they cannot get the help or assistance they need. And then I firmly also believe that if we're not spending all this money on resources, okay, towards enforcement, because the Department of Human Services, not Human Service, the Department of Homeland Security, both are DHS, which is hilarious. Department of Homeland Security, all right, spends a lot of their money on, they have different programs, whether they're talking about customs, border enforcement, and they have a couple other things underneath them, right? To include the Coast Guard. My problem is with funding for them and their budget. I think it behooves us. All right, so look, this is me from the future. I clearly got tired in the middle of this video. So what I'm trying to say is the funding, right? If we didn't have to spend so much money on immigration enforcement, we could then spend more money on customs so we could properly process people into this country, and people could come in and actually have work visas and have, a right to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody gets caught tomorrow and gets deported, I don't feel bad. Why? Because you're not supposed to be here. It's the same as being in a freaking unauthorized zone in a store or whatever. You're not supposed to be there. So if the cops get called on you and then you get put in jail, that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Now, granted, I don't say like, oh, we should just round them up, just lock them up, lock them. No. I want to respect their humanity, but I think the new people shouldn't be allowed in. The people who's here now is here, and that's just it. The fact that an American cannot pick themselves up and get a good situation going for themselves is insane. You know, you have these immigrants that got bussed up to New York or flew up to New York, and they're getting hotel rooms and different halfway house stays and whatever. Things are just covered. They're getting food stamp cards, they're getting this, that, they're getting benefits. Meanwhile, our own homeless population, people that actually, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about people that are just like, oh, I'm drugged out and whatever. Like, you need rehab, then you need other help and assistance. But we're talking about people that literally, due to a missed check at work, spiraled out of control to being homeless and jobless. I'm talking about like giving those people actual resources. I'm talking about giving people resources so they don't have to even get to the point of being homeless. I think we benefit wholeheartedly from that as a country. When people can stay in the workforce, when people can be healthy, when people cannot be, there's no money being made from there being a Skid Row in LA. You know what I mean? Like, Skid Row prevents the businesses from building in those areas, or it's just purposely dropping down the property value because nobody wants to move there, nobody wants to live there. When LA's already crowded as is. If you could get those people off the street gradually through a program and get them somewhere where they can do better for themselves, I have a good faith that most would. Nobody wants to be homeless. I mean, okay, with the exception of a few people because they just don't want to work or whatever. There's a select few people that want to be homeless, but outside of that, most people want to have a home, sleep in a comfortable bed. That's it. That's my time. Thank y'all so much for listening. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'm out.